So then it would be like I'm actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Well, I submitted it. We are live.
I'm not in the game. I said getting it ready, bro. Like you did. Totally check.
Oh, why are you in jump over the walls, Obby?
All right, step away from the screen.
When are we gonna be in it?
Well, we are in chapter 19. So, and there's 21 chapters in John. Whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe. So, I changed my name. I'm no longer Cascade of Misery. I am now choosing Eden. And so I am now. I've made an order with a group to like completely get a new logo, new panels, the whole works. And so now, so now I like
Did you change it?
because choosing Eden. There's a bunch of theological reasons. Which if you get so pretty much. Okay, well, this is what I've decided. So, huh?
Change your Roblox.
Oh, that's true. I need to. That's the last thing I haven't done.
Give me your Roblox account.
The stinky
Give me
player.
all your Robux.
No, dude.
You have
Like not a lot. No.
you bought the Grand Piece VIP.
You buy like $10 of it.
All right. No, also, it was just easier to like.
gave me Charlie and Courtney.
At that time, you're like a never GPO person. Yeah. My friends make fun of me. They call me a weeaboo. I'm not gonna play GPO.
GPO was Grumpy.
And then they started playing it.
GPO was Grumpy somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But we don't play that right now. It's good pizza, Obby.
Do it.
All right.
It's Gustav's Pizza Off.
So, Mike, I'm gonna ask you to put yourself in a place where no hands can get you. Thank you. All right, you guys ready? All right, what part's this? Okay. When Pilate heard that, he was all the more afraid. He went back into the residence and spoke to Jesus. Where do you come from? He asked. So you remember what's happening?
No.
So, yeah, he is at the trial now. But Jesus gave him no answer. So Pilate addressed him again. Aren't you going to speak to me, he said. Don't you know that I have the authority to let you go? And the authority to crucify you? You couldn't have any authority at all over me, replied Jesus, unless it was given to you from above. That's why the person who handed me over to you is guilty of a greater sin. From that moment on, Pilate tried to let him go. But the Judeans shouted at him, If you let this fellow go, they said, you are no friend of Caesar. Everyone who sets himself up as a king is speaking against Caesar. So when Pilate heard them again saying that, he brought Jesus out and sat down at the official judgment seat, called the Pavements, in Hebrew, Gabbatha. It was the preparation day of the Passover, and it was about midday. Look, said Pilate, here is your king. Take him away! They shouted, take him away! Crucify him! Do you want me to crucify your king? Asked Pilate. We have no king, the chief priest replied, except Caesar. Then he handed him over to them to be crucified. So what was Pilate trying to do? Yeah, but like, he had the complete authority to let him go. People are trying to do it in the game. Like, trying to convince them to, like, stop this thing, but then they kept calling to crucify him. Alright. Okay. So he's not here? Do you want to wait for Micah?
No.
Okay. From our seats, high in the stands, we watched as the football match swung this way and that. Our team was doing well and scored a couple of early goals. We were delighted. Surely they could hang on to a lead like that. When the opposition scored one back with only 10 minutes to go, we didn't mind too much. We were still in front, with not long to go. But then the opposition brought on a substitute, fresh and lively. He was exactly what the other side needed. He put fresh heart into their whole team. We watched, helpless, as our side struggled to cope with the new challenge. The inevitable happened. First an equalizing goal, then 3 minutes before the end, the match winner. We trudged off home, thinking of that moment when the whole game had swung away from us. So you're talking about soccer, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so, British football, which is soccer. And then they're talking about how they were in the lead, but then they brought in the other team brought in a fresh person, like a new person in, and with that error they started winning, and then they're like, wow, that game really turned. That is the feeling we get at verse 12 in this passage. Pilate is in charge. He's the governor. His word is law. He can kill people if he wants to. He can let them go if he wants to. He could order the troops to kill the chief priests themselves if he thought he could get away with it. And when he decides that he really does want to let Jesus go, we assume he's going to be able to do it. But the one constraint on Pilate is what people think of him back in Rome. Roman governors down the years were regularly prosecuted for oh my gosh. I might have to look that up. I'm having a hard time with it.
Maladministration.
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 Maladministration. It's like Bailey's Happy Meal. It looks like it's Krog, right? You don't do anything on his foot. You just press this thing on the back and you swing this mace-looking thing. Do you guys want it?
no.
No.
The Thor movie was so
Maladministration.
cringe.
Was it? I haven't heard good thing about
No,
the Thor movie.
No, it looks so cringe.
Maladministration.
Maladministration. Maladministration.
Maladministration. So it's maladministration.
Maladministration.
Yes, love?
Okay.
What is that, Robin? You want to guess read for us?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna set this up. What was all 1,000 originally?
Yeah, Shaq.
And that's totally fine. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
But the one constraint on Pilate is what people think of him back in Rome. Roman governors down the years were regularly prosecuted for maladministration. Provinces and cities would take their case to Rome, insisting on justice against a man who had been ruling them in Rome's name. They were famous instances of ex-governors paying heavy penalties under the empire. If the emperor decided someone was a nuisance or surplus to requirement, he was quite capable of sending a message advising the man to commit suicide to save his soldiers the bother of killing him themselves. So you guys hear that? The reason why they kept pushing for him to kill Jesus, and how Pilate had to make a choice. He let Jesus go and then reported to Rome, and then Rome could tell the governor to kill himself because he pretty much let someone go who said he was king. So he actually took the safe option for himself, which was saving his life but yet killing Jesus. The threat of what Caesar might think is the secret weapon the chief priests have been keeping up their sleeves all this time. They didn't know whether they would have to use it, but when they realize that Pilate is wavering and then has decided to let Jesus go, they bring it out. And from that moment, Pilate is lost. What will people in Rome think? He can hear the sneer. You mean you had a man in front of you on charge of making himself a rebel king and you let him go? What sort of a governor are you? Don't you know you are supposed to be looking after Rome's interests? What's Caesar going to think of all this? Pilate had been afraid when he heard the chief priests say that Jesus had made himself the Son of God. He was even more afraid when they pulled out this trump card. From here on, he has lost the arguments. But on the way, we discover something more about the nature of his authority. Jesus, who remains silent about himself at this point, is still prepared to explain to Pilate how God's providence works. And we also discover more darkly something extraordinary about the position into which the chief priests have backed themselves. Jesus doesn't challenge the authority that Pilate has over him. He merely informs him that it comes from above, from God. Like many Old Testament writers, Jesus accepts that even pagan states and empires hold their rule under the ultimate authority of the one true God. That isn't to say that God or his true followers need to approve of everything they do, only that the God who turns human wrath to his praise, takes the energy and organization of even wicked people and make it bring at least some measure of order to this world. Perhaps that is partly why Paul could say what he did in Romans 13. If Jesus could acknowledge even Pilate's authority, clearly a Christian view of secular power has to make room for some light and shade in its picture, and not construct too quickly an easy black and white scheme in which some rulers are good and most simply bad. Jesus warns Pilate that though he holds delegated authority, this doesn't mean that there isn't real evil afoot. But this is a million miles from the view that the chief priests have painted themselves into. The real sting in this passage comes at the end. In order to reject the claim of Jesus to be the true reflection of their one true God, they find themselves driven back into the arms of pagan empire. We have no king but Caesar. It's a devastating thing to hear, coming from the lips of the official representative of Judaism. The scriptures, songs, and revolutionary slogans of Judaism have spoken for 1,000 years of its God as the true king, of the coming Messiah as God's true king, and the pagan rulers as a sham, pretense, a bunch of trumped-up idolaters. So, you guys hear that? So to kill Jesus, they claim a pagan king was their king. He put himself into a corner. Do you know that phrase?
Yeah.
So the pretty much, yeah. To kill Jesus, they didn't say that the other ruler is their king god, which is crazy. What would Isaiah have said to the chief priests? How would they feel next time they heard the psalms sung in the temple? What would they say to the crowds, many of whom had supported Jesus precisely because they hoped he would be the king who would free them from Caesar? These questions haven't gone away and still float in the air in our puzzle world. Who is the world's true Lord? What authority have governments? And how does that relate to the authority of God? Sometimes when people don't want Jesus as Lord, they find themselves driven, like the chief priests, into some form of pagan empire. Pagan empire come in various forms. It may appear as the totalitarianism, which claims divinity, and hence absolute allegiance for itself. Or it may appear as a liberal democracy which banishes God from its system altogether, and then regards itself as free to carve up the world to its own advantage without moral restraints. Either way, the choice becomes stark. Are we with Pilate, nervously allowing himself to be maneuvered into dangerous compromise? Or are we with the chief priests, pressing home a political advantage without realizing that we are pushing ourselves backwards towards complete capitalization? Or are we with Jesus, silent in the middle, continuing to reflect the love of God into his muddled and tragic world? Alright, we'll just get into the next section.
Because you went next in podcast. So it seems like you're screaming. The King of Jesus!
King of the Jews. So they took Jesus away, he carried his own cross, and went to the spot called Skull Place, in Hebrew, Golgotha. That was where they crucified him. They also crucified 2 others, one on either side of him, with Jesus in the middle. Pilate wrote a notice and had it placed on the cross. The notice said, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Lots of the Judeans read this notice because the place where Jesus was crucified was close to the city. It was written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. So the chief priests said to Pilate, "Don't write the King of the Jews. Write that he said, 'I am the King of the Jews.'" "What I've written," replied Pilate, "I've written." When the soldiers had crucified Jesus, they took his clothes and divided them into 4 parts, giving each soldier 1 part. When they came to his tunic, they found that it was a single piece of cloth, woven from top to bottom. "Well, let's not tear it," they said to each other. "Let's throw lots for it to see who's going to have it." This was so that the Bible will be fulfilled when it says, "They took my clothes and divided them up. They threw the dice to the side of my garments." And that's what the soldiers did. So, here Jesus carried his cross, and on top it said Jesus of Nazareth. And what did the chief priests say? Well, the chief priests were like, don't write King of the Jews, just say that he said the King of the Jews. Yeah, I've written it. And then here are the soldiers dividing his garments. Alright, what's this? There was a shocking photograph in the newspaper the other day. A cart was being driven through the streets of a city in the Far East. On the cart were staying 15 or 20 men. Round the neck of each, hanging from a string, was a notice. On the notice was written the particular crime they were accused of. When they reached the end of their journey, so the report said, they were taken off the carts. 2 of the men were selected and were publicly beheaded. The others were taken back to prison to await the pleasure of the government. The purpose of the notices was obvious. They were to rub in the point to the people who were watching, and there were plenty of people watching. That's what will happen if you get up to this sort of thing. The sort of thing in question was actions or teachings which the government interpreted as being revolutionary. The Romans used more or less exactly the same system. That's what's going on when Pilate places a notice about Jesus' head on the cross. Sometimes condemned Roman prisoners, like the ones in the newspaper, carried the notice around their neck on their way to the place of execution, so that all the more people can see and take warning. The notice itself is full of irony. The chief priests are furious with Pilate. He doesn't believe Jesus is the King of the Jews any more than they do, and they don't want him making fun of them in this way. Pilate, of course, is getting his own back. It's a calculated snub. You want him crucified, didn't you? We could feel him thinking, well, I've done it, and I reserve the right to say what I want on the public notice. As far as I'm concerned, he really is the King of the Jews. The only sort of king you crazy people deserve. This is what I've done to him, and this is what I'll be happy to do to the whole lot of you.
It should be
No, actually, well,
They should be the ones.
well, I mean, the true wish is that they'll just choose peace.
Yeah.
They'll choose the Jesus way of living.
But you?
But both are guilty at this point. Both Pilate and both the Jews. Because Pilate, no matter what, has the authority to let Jesus go, no matter what they say. But he let himself,
Just go up. He could have that anytime. But he can kill himself.
But like the thing is his fear is always Caesar back at home, back in the Empire land, because Caesar is the true ultimate, and a true of Rome, the Rome king. Yeah, and his ways, how he rule is the way of peace. And so then he actually puts the right thing on the cross. He puts the King of the Jews. And so, I mean, the chief priests hate that. But then Pilate's like saying, like, I actually believe that he's your king. And he's crazy. And you're crazy. He's like mocking but telling the truth. Once again, we must listen to what John is telling us. As Jesus goes to his death, remember how Caiaphas has said more than he had known when he spoke tirelessly about one man dying for the people. Remember how Jesus had been approached by some Greeks, and how in his comment on their request he had said that when he was lifted up from the earth, he would draw all people to himself. Remember how Peter had declared that he would lay down his life for Jesus, and how Jesus had gently questioned whether he got the idea the right way around. Bring all that together, stand at the foot of the cross, and look up at the notes that Pilate has written. What do you see? You see, to begin with, that it's written in the three major languages of the time and place: Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. You get a long way with those languages. Wherever you are in the world in our day, if you can speak English, Chinese, and a major local language, you'll probably be able to understand the public notices. And Jesus' world, Hebrew, John probably means Aramaic, was a local language. In the wider world, Greek was almost universal, like English in much of today's world. Latin was the official language of the empire. But what John is telling us, of course, is that Jesus is now announced as Israel's Messiah to all the world. That's crazy, because whether Pilate notices or not, he actually is announcing Jesus as Israel's Messiah, as Israel's King. And this is what Jesus and even Caiaphas, the high priest, has said all along, that one man needs to die for the world. And here he is, dying for the world, the Messiah, the Messiah. This is what he had said would happen. The world doesn't at the moment know that what it needs to rescue it from its desperate plight. Is the Messiah promised by the one God to Israel? But this is what John believes. Israel's Messiah, after all, will rule from sea to sea, from one end of the world to the other. All nations will do him homage. But how can this happen? If the Messiah is being executed as a common criminal or a revolutionary, John's answer is unambiguous. It is precisely through his execution that it will now happen. As a king, he is also fulfilling the extraordinary biblical prophecies about the suffering righteous one, in whom the suffering of Israel will come to their height, and through whose tribulation and death evil will be exhausted and the kingdom of God be born on earth. One of the most popular of these biblical prophecies among the early Christians was Psalm 22. That is a psalm from which, according to Matthew and Mark, Jesus himself quoted, or perhaps we would say screamed out at the moment of his greatest agony, my God, why did you abandon me?" As that psalm continues its awful litany of suffering, one of the many horrors it describes is the moment when the sufferer is not only stripped naked, but suffers the added indignity of seeing people gambling.
Indignity.
The added indignity of seeing people gambling for his clothes. John doesn't need to do more than give the briefest description of the gambling at the foot of the cross and to draw our attention to the psalm in question. He leaves us to think through the implication. Jesus is the fulfillment of prophecy and sacred song. He is the righteous sufferer. He is the true king. He is the one through whose shameful death the weight of Israel's sin, and behind that the sin of the whole world, is being dealt with. The King of the Jews is God's chosen representative, not merely to rule the world, but to redeem it. Alright, I think we're talking enough, so we get right into it, my friends. thought you guys were gonna play Minecraft if you ever do Minecraft real time.
My day will do.
Oh yeah?
And they have all sorts of
Oh
much easier.
What? He's going really fast. Heck was that?
Making such a good team, bro.
Four people. What you guys?
Make it over there. Big team. Here, are you ready? This is my team. That's my team. Those up and down, making such a good team. Yeah. Yes! Who's putting it? No, we're making such a good team, bro. Yeah, I think we're really good. Yes.
You guys playing?
I got. Let me. Yes, please push the button. Thank you. Oh, three leave me behind. Keep going.
Did it by yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's the glitch. Wait, they want us to leave?
Hmm?
I think it's wait, I think
Money.
I bet you can. Press the button. Thank you. Me? No,
Oh, hello. How you doing, friend?
Bro.
You're so deep into this. I'm like, oh look, I'm
Like, no, on the corner. You don't.
So I stream on pretty much all the platforms that I can. So I stream on YouTube also and on Facebook Gaming. Because for me, as I stream videos, I do it out of conviction to call people towards choosing all the ways of the Lord, which I find through the work of Jesus. Because he was truly human. In his death and resurrection, he showed us on what it looked like in life. And not to listen to other voices. Yeah, and I'm from North America, and yeah, Pacific Northwest area, Oregon. What about you, friend? Where are you from? The Divinity series. He's Russian. He's dead now. There's a music pilot as well. You're also, I see, you're also a constant. Okay. Awesome. Oh, well, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Let me fix that. There we go. Is that better?
Just not let them over this or something.
No.
I gotta. Yeah, I'll definitely. Duly noted. Gotta have that music super low. Look over the camera.
No! All got up.
Stay here. They think it's a tour and go with my eye. We're gonna be like, that's what it is, girl. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, they're not open.
Come on!
Oh,
You played much of Vampire Survivor?
well, now you stole my gun. There was one less person here who went to me.
Go! Go!
So straight up.
Sorry, did that help you?
Wait, you know how it puts me in my
I passed it once. Alright. I can't play my other games game. You get what I mean. Oh yeah, and it's like such a surprise. Like all you do is move, but due to its its rogue nature, it's a delightful game.
Oh, they all got up. Got the 100? The golden snake.
Oh yeah, especially of late. There's not. Gosh, I don't know any AAA products that I've been jazzed about. I haven't been jazzed about any big name game for quite a while. I'm truly burnt out of the COD. Dragon Age, I don't know, like Dragon Age hasn't been good since the first one. Like I played the other one, but it hasn't captured me. Oh. There's that. It was $3 for me. Were you able to get it for $1? Oh yeah. I haven't been able to play Baldur's Gate 3 yet, but I'm a big Lorien Studios fan. Like me and my compadres are going through Original Sin 2. I played through Divine Divinity, the first one. I think I'm going to be doing a series stream soon after I finish the Outer Worlds of actually Divine Divinity 2, Dragon King, like that series, because I've been wanting to play it. And also, just to hear more on my favorite composer, because he actually does that Russian guy I was talking about, like Kirill, like I'm going to butcher his name, my apologies, Kirill, like Kvosky, something like that. Like, I don't know why, but his music always, like, it's like what I listen to when I pray, when yeah, it's just, his music is always just good contemplate stuff for me. Is RPGs more your stuff? Like, have you tried any of the new Final Fantasies?
What? It started me over.
I made it. Yeah.
This is impossible. castle.
I made it to the blue part.
How do you get? Oh, it's just my.
Oh, that's fine, friend. I got a few little brohemes here. With that, pulling towards my brothers towards Jesus, like I had my little brohemes here today with me. It's like that's part of my reading curriculum with them is, yeah, it's going through that.
I made it real.
Maybe if I make it. Maybe like jump forward.
Also, like, if that's truly you have to pay to win. You too, my friend. Thank you. It was an honor having you here. You just have a great day. May the peace of Jesus be upon you, my friend. May you hear the voice and listen to the voice of the Lord. And choose you and blessing you.
Go forward.
Nice. Alright. Or you guys got 27 minutes left until we have to go through break stuff, okay?
Go ahead.
I got it for a second.
Get it? Get related. He gets a grenade launcher.
Why did I chance it? Alright. It's with Z Asunto. Do I have Z Asunto? I don't. Infinite Coffin, okay. Feet to Jacinta. Unlock happy mode for all 5. Level 99 with Pugnala. Pugnala. Oh, that's Pugnala. Ooh, it's my might. My might person. Oh, yeah.
No. That's the money freezes because of how much.
Oh, nice.
We need more fire jets. Well, but I'm not joking. Why is it gonna spawn? Whoa, I haven't come out. 6 maybe. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm not getting anywhere. Got it? Maybe. Look how much nukes are coming through.
Nice.
Right. I want something. Oh, I have max powers. Okay. Upgrade.
No, bro.
Are you playing? Are you playing that are you playing that with them? Or are you play? Yeah, they're not. Okay. I thought you were playing that with my or something.
I can do that.
This is the final phone thing. Bigger than anything.
Here.
Bigger.
It's so impossible.
And Jason, you want to see our entire enemy?
Oh, you restarted.
Jason, look. Look at our enemy. Better. No, wow.
Trust me, I also.
Okay. Finish him down, bro. We're begging. Never blow it out. Let's go, bro. No. I never let you pass. I'll take on you and punch you as much as I can. No! Stop it! Where's the gravity coil?
I know.
His phone! I have to feed the phone mode, not just.
Nice, friend. Gotcha.
Base coordinate, and then like shift lock and then jump. I'm going
What's up, friend?
Ducks! It's red duck. It's all ducks for that guy.
A robotic duck. All right, friends, we got 15 minutes until we gotta take a break stop.
No, bug, Sonic Intimidator. Do you want to do it or I remember seeing it photo. Take what?
Okay.
Remember this game?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is so easy. Yeah, well, Face is so bad, bro.
My record is 1.89.
Get it? And if you're not scary,
Mm.
I had core games, look it. And do better.
Mm-hmm.
I've got core games. I've had core games that played. and do better. Yo, Wallace is white. Oh! I practice. Whoa, whoa, you know. Don't
I remember beating that game before.
Just one.
Love you.
No, just kidding. My record was 1232, but it deleted it for me. It's so low.
I know that.
What's up?
Check it.
Well, I have that increases the area, so that makes things larger. And every time I level it up, they get larger too. And so the next thing you know, they're gonna be gigantor. No, 2 minutes. 20. Wait, is that 20? Yeah, 2 minutes. A minute left, my friends. Or look how big my carts are now. Alright, guys.
Stand right here.
Alright, I'm gonna go use the restroom, then if you're ready to go through break steps, then I'll be ready.
Crossing right here. There.
I have some rock.
It's for me.
You don't drink it.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
You can use it. I get right there. Listen, you think I don't drink it. Stupid. Why did you go out the front door, you idiot?
I said try but some of it. You were like, no, unless you said F you idiot.
You can.
That I haven't seen you.
Alright, we're back, friends. When you're ready, can you throw that away before? Thank you. Alright. And can you close the door behind you, Jason? Then I'll need you to wash your hands before the meets, okay? Thank you. Something you have to ask your mom about.
Bad. You didn't get any.
I never said I wanted any. Don't kick each other.
Vaccine.
But I could just say Pepsi if I want. I never said I wanted it. All day.
You can act like a lamenting zombie. Alright. Alright, Mike. Alright, Mike, can you put yourself in a place where limbs can't reach you? Thanks, friend. Alright. What part's this?
Commentary /
Pepsi.
Bible. I said both.
You said Bible? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Bible and commentary.
Well, we'll just start with just what we're in now. What parts are we in? What part are we in, Micah?
Bible.
Okay.
You already said it.
Huh? You're hungry? Did your mom?
Cheez-Its.
Did your mom give us an apple?
An apple and Cheez-Its.
Yeah. Where's the apple and Cheez-Its?
In my lunchbox. By the mini fridge.
Okay, we can cut up an apple for you, friend. Do you want the Cheez-Its or the apple, or do you want both?
You want just play please donate? No, just sit AFK in there.
What?
Thank people for Robux.
Be like, buddy, please donate.
I'll ask people to bet. I'll ask people to donate you.
Yeah, just be like, donate me, and you'll be like, donate him. And then
No, I'll be like,
you'll be like, donate him. You
I'll be like, donate my friend, please. He's super poor.
never had fun for for that.
This is a game that you'll be able to earn Robux, and there's other games you can earn Robux from. Like, there's a game where you can paint, sell your paint to people. There's a
That's
game,
for Robux, is it?
yeah, there's a game where you can build stuff and sell it. Like for the painting one, you can paint. It's called.
Like, can you like say
What?
paint?
You're not kidding? What? Chicken. Should we play Dragon Simulator? I kind of want to play that. I didn't. So I got to the last world, but I forgot to put the eggs. That I reversed. So yeah. I didn't see. Going for it.
Cinnamon roll for you guys whenever you want it. In the kitchen.
Did you ask Mom?
I haven't asked your mom, but I can ask your mom if you
Do you mind?
got a cinnamon roll. Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Like, sure you do mind or sure you will.
I will.
Could also please donate, Charlie. And then I'll beg people to donate you guys.
Yeah, you're in that role.
500. And then we'll buy a sign.
574!
All right.
Bible.
Bible. Bible.
Jesus' mother was standing beside his cross. So what's happening to Jesus right now?
Mother standing behind it, beside it.
Now, you-
Yep, he's on the... Good, good. Yes, right. That's where he's enthroned. Jesus' mother was staying beside his cross. So was her sister, Mary, the wife... Please, that's super distracting, my friend. So was her sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, with Mary Magdalene too. Jesus saw his mother and the disciple he especially loved standing there. Mother, he said, look, there's your son. And he spoke to the disciple. Look, he said, there's your mother. From that time, the disciple welcomed her into his own home. After this, Jesus knew that everything had been completed. I'm thirsty, he said, fulfilling what the Bible had said. There was a jar there full of sour wine. So he put a sponge filled with the sour wine on a hyssop rod and lifted it to his mouth. Jesus drank it. It's all done, he said. Then he let his head drop and gave up his spirit. So Jesus is on a cross, right? And who's right next to him on the cross?
His mother.
Oh, his mom, his disciple he loves, and then two other Marys, correct? And then what did Jesus say to his disciple that he loved? This is your mother. And so then that disciple started taking care of Mary. And there was a jar full of sour wine. So he put it on a sponge and gave it to...
Jesus.
Right. Then his head dropped and gave up his spirit. All right. What part's this?
Comments.
No, wait. Of
Terry.
taking.
What?
Okay.
Oh, okay. A colleague... A colleague of mine worked in Lebanon during the awful civil war in the second half of the 20th century. He reported an interesting phenomenon which helps us to understand what was happening at the foot of the cross. Rival militias were stalking the street of Burtus. Men armed to the teeth were struggling for control of different streets and key buildings. No man dared venture out of doors unless he was heavily armed, preferably in a group or with some kind of protection. But the women were free to come and go as they pleased. It was understood that they wouldn't be combatants, and also one assumes that they will need to do basic shopping to keep families going even amid such civil unrest. A man was vulnerable to being attacked, kidnapped, or killed. A woman was not. This shed light, incidentally, on the status of women in the early church. Acts 8:3 reports that women as well as men were the victims of persecution. Clearly, they were perceived as a threat, just like the men. But at the time of Jesus' death, this wasn't so. The disciples had all run away to hide. They didn't dare show their faces. But there was no problem about the women revealing by their action that they were part of Jesus' entourage. Nobody was going to bother arresting them. So why didn't they arrest the disciple Jesus especially loved? How did he manage to be there? As with 18... I think the answer must be that he was still very young. He was just a lad. The soldiers wouldn't regard him as a serious potential revolutionary. He wasn't about to rally the others, to choose a new leader and carry on the kingdom movement that had now come to a sorry end. He may not yet have been turned 20. He probably hadn't yet grown a beard. He didn't look a threat. So saying that, so they didn't see the ladies as a problem, like they didn't see him as revolutionaries. And they probably the disciple whom Jesus loved, they probably didn't even see him because he was just young. The moving scene that falls between him, Jesus' mother, and Jesus himself has been the subject of much painting and meditation. Many churches have Mary and John, let's call him John for the sake of discussion, though we never know for certain that it was him, painted at the foot of the cross on either side. I once worked in a church where behind the altar there was a large stained glass window portraying the crucifixion, with Mary on the left and John on the right. I often used to draw attention to it when preaching at weddings. The man and woman meet at the foot of the cross. But this moment, the last time we meet Jesus' mother in the gospel story, is full of a pathos of its own. Think back to that story. early on in the gospel when Mary pointed out to Jesus that the wine had run out. She didn't understand then that this time hadn't yet come. But she knew that the way to get things done was for people to do whatever he said. She didn't understand now that his time has come at last, that this was where it was all leading, that all calling to turn the water of human life into the rich wine of God's love was now at last being fulfilled. We assume that she quickly came to believe all this through Jesus' resurrection, and we assume that it the more readily because of what happens here. John takes her to his own home and welcomes her as though she were his own mother. But the story of the water and the wine has more resonance with this scene than simply Jesus' comment to Mary. Here is Jesus thirsty, and he gave him the low-grade sour wine that the soldiers used. He gave others the best wine, so good that people remarked on it. He himself, at his moment of agony, has the cheap stuff that the lower ranks in the army drank when on duty. With that, 2 other windows open up for us, shafts of light that John allows to fall on the simple and sad story of Jesus' death. First, we are reminded of the many times when Jesus has spoken of water. There is a sign of chapter 2, which we just mentioned. There is the long discussion about living water with the woman in Samaria in chapter 4. Jesus offered her that living water, and it was clear that he had it in abundant supply. Then in chapter 6, he spoke of those who believed in him not only never being hungry, but also never being thirsty. Okay, I'll wait. Your cinnamon roll? Not yet. He loves those. So I'm guessing yes.
About 6 minutes. Give her a sec first. One there is. That big boy is. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Big boy. Then get eaten like a dog.
No.
You cream at the bottom.
All right. He amplified this in chapter 7, speaking exuberantly of the living water that was available for anyone who came to him. He could satisfy their thirst forever by believing in him. Indeed, they would have rivers of living water springing up from within themselves. All this only heightens our sense of horror and awe as we get... Your mom says yes.
Okay, thanks.
They could satisfy the thirst forever by believing in him. Indeed, they will have rivers of living water springing up from within themselves. All this only heightens our sense of horror and awe as we get the full impact of what John is saying. At the thought of Jesus himself being thirsty. Had the water of life failed? Had the wine run out for good? He saved others, could he not save himself? As with the crown of thorns and the mocking purple robe, this John is saying is part of the truth of it all. This is how Jesus must do what only he can do. He must come to the place where everyone else is, the place of thirst, shame, and death. That too is a fulfillment of Scripture. That is his glory and yes, his joy. But there is one more thing that John wants to say, and the allusion in chapter 2 reminds us of this as well. The changing of water to wine was, as he told us clearly, the first in the sequence of signs by which Jesus revealed his glory. The second was the healing of the nobleman's son at Capernaum. From then on, he leaves us to count up the signs, and different readers have reckoned them differently. I think the most convincing sequence goes like this. The third sign is the healing of the paralyzed man at the pool. The fourth is the multiplication of loaves and fishes. The fifth is the healing of the man born blind. And the sixth is the raising of Lazarus. John cannot have attended the sequence stop at 6, which is one in the back of his mind from the very start. The sequence of 7 signs completing the accomplishment of the new creation has an inevitable about it. Now here we are at the foot of the cross. John has told us throughout his gospel that when Jesus is lifted up, This will be the moment of God's glory shining through him in full strength. And the signs are the things that reveal God's glory. I regard it as more or less certain that he intends the crucifixion itself to function as the seventh sign. As though to confirm this, Jesus gives one last cry. It's finished. It's all done. It's completed. He has finished the work that the Father had given him to do. He has loved to the very end his own who were in the world. He has accomplished the full and final task. The word that I've translated, it's all done, is actually a single word in the original language. It's the word that people would write on the bill. Okay, you're going to wash it? Okay. Yep, wash your bowls. Wash your bowls and cups. Let's not leave dishes for people. Yep.
Me too.
That is so cool.
What?
So, you remember at the very end, before Jesus is dead on the cross, what does he say? It's finished, or it's all done. But here he's saying the word that Jesus used for it's all done, so in the original language, it's actually a single word in the original language. It's the word that people will write on the bill after it had been paid. The bill is dealt with. So the price of death on us, the price of sin, Jesus' death right now just paid it. He paid our bill. He paid our internet bill.
Now, never go too far.
It's finished. The price has been paid. Yes, says John, and Jesus' work is now complete. In that sense, as in every other. It is upon this finished, complete work that his people from that day to this can stay their lives. All right, we talked enough. We can get right into it, my friends. Me. scary.
Jason, if you ever do that, you're never gonna get me.
Yeah. Don't lie. Jason, you just told him to lie. Don't. That's not okay, dude. Are you but you say I am a YouTuber. It's like one thing to say like I sit next to someone who's a YouTube. I know someone who's a YouTuber. But it's not okay to lie, to try to get things. That's manipulation. I will love Thai food. Okay. I'll wait. Thanks, Brendan. Here's me eating. CHOOSING space or one word. Eden. EDEN. So choosing CHOOSING, then space Eden. EDEN. Mm-hmm.
Now you made me angry, bro.
Okay.
EJ fine, bro. EJ fine. Yeah.
I am alive. You want up? Watch your peas.
Yo, bro.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Oh can't say that.
Dude, you just said it's a beautiful day, so I had to finish it, man. Aw, but Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is a really good person to play. Huh? Wow. What did I unlock? Thank you, putting the provolone, but the vampire's in another coffin. Okay.
He's scary.
We just... Ooh, Z Asunta Belpas joins the survivors. Nice. Right.
Well, they got how big that Minecraft is.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Shout out to Zyro. Zyro, you beautiful animal. Why not? Hey. You are a very gorgeous person, Zyro. Whatever scheme Jason is plotting to get more Robux, sure I'll be his puppets. See? You want to say hi to mommy? Yeah? So you... Alright. Hey, Bailey, take your piece.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Fire blow.
Oh, thank you. No, actually, bring that back to mom. Bring that into the living room. You brought it in here, bring it to the living room. You do that so you don't look like a complete mooch.
Level ups.
I must have picked up something. Ooh.
Use it.
Oh yeah, no, it means I get another Astro. So this is like new. This is like in-game stuff. Pick up coins, does gold fever, freeze enemies, generate explosions. Healing is double. Actually, wait, freezing enemies generates explosions. Well, of course I gotta get Claw. Alright.
Do that. Don't.
Look at him.
He's a hacker.
water! Well, it's because I have put points into extra XP. Oh, you asked a question. And I also have that. That passive gives extra XP. So I have 50. One second. Looks like things are woo woo woo. Okay, that's working. I don't know why. There we go. All right, there we go. gosh. Alright. Fancy holy water is ordered. My 200%. Oh no. What's lasers? And I have holy water, I have that. And also with this character, every level I get a point of extra might, so I'm at 255%. Okay, so no.
I can do it.
Well, I'm not okay. 'Cause custom matches. Nope. face out against some sort of final boss. It's something like you unlock a secret store guy, and there's a character who you start off with minecarts, but you actually just buy him. What the heck? This guy is like insane. Oh god. Got it. I got the great gospel.
That way, if anything, like when you get a low, it doesn't get a low for me. I have to call myself too.
Come back. You can stop looting.
I'm gonna turn-
Oh yeah. There's nothing I can do. They took away all my weapons. I had 2 revives. Wow. It's 6 almost.
because I'm fucking. They're both low.
How do you know
I'm gonna
that?
reach 31 minutes in the main forest. Alright.
And you-
Getting their bed low. Hit them. Oh. You over in the.
Wait, so I'm because they started attacking you. There was nothing I could do. Literally. It's a game.
Kill 'em.
Okay.
Doing that.
Run, 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 run. Did you get their bed?
Yeah.
Good. They're both dead now. Dead, dead.
I have 1 emerald. I'm gonna get a pearl.
Probably got that from one of them. Dude, I have enough for armor again.
Do you have iron armor?
No, I had enough for leather armor again.
But now, do you have iron armor?
No. I'm saving up.
I don't like to.
Don't put Huh. You wanna play me? In what? In a custom match? No. I want to play normal bed wars if you want.
You don't earn anything in customer.
Yeah. I thought so too. How about our armor now? Our armor and Spencer.
How much is it for a diamond upgrade?
6,
Can you go get diamonds?
6 and then 12.
Go get diamonds, Jason. Other side. You know where diamonds are.
Yes.
You go? Dead.
I don't have blocks. I'm gonna get M's. Let me get enough for diamond armor.
Just randomly upgrading for you.
No. I'm pretty much have enough to almost get all the upgrades. It's not movement speed. Might reject speed duration.
My god, I got diamond armor and balloons. One. Jason, I'm probably not what? Once you like finish the game, do you think that you can play me in a match? Like normal bed wars. Like normal. I think you can. No, they do it. Do it, Jason. Do you want to?
Oh, that is awesome. Do that again. That's fun.
spend 2 on a little bit more balloons, and then I'll give the other 3 to you. Okay? Where are you?
WHY.
No, wait, I can use. I already have 9. UFC Mountain, bro! Oh no, help, 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 help!
Help. No, don't fight.
I have more balloons, so I'll be fine. Wait, I just got a grand kill and it gave me 11.
Yes, I need diamonds.
Alright guys, in 3 minutes we gotta go through a break step. Missed that.
Oh, yep. Nope. Nope.
That's literally
Then just run back.
Alright, in 8 seconds we gotta go through a break step.
Oh, yeah.
Alright guys. Hey Char, my friend.